Hey, what is up guys? It's Brendan here, and today we're going to be answering the question, can you take out student loans for living expenses? Now, in short, yes you can, but there is a lot of important factors and considerations to think about before you take out student loans for your living expenses, and there are certain limits and regulations around what you can actually use your student loan money for when it comes to taking out student loans, especially for covering those living expenses. So that's what we're going to be diving into here in today's video. What kind of expenses qualify as living expenses, how much you can actually take out, and what are maybe some companies and options when it comes to taking out student loans. So that's what we're going to be diving into here in today's video. And of course, before we dive into anything, of course, I do want to mention, if you would like to check out the list of the best student loan lenders for the top student loans, you can go and check out that first link down below in the video description. That will take you right over to this page here where you can compare the top student loan companies for you in your area. And our number one partner is College Ave, where they offer great offers for student loans, and you can see how to apply again at the links down below in the video description. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this. So of course, the first question, of course, is can you actually use your student loans and take them out for living expenses? So answer here from College Ave, of course, in short, yes, you can use funds from your student loan for off-campus housing or groceries, as these are part of your school's certified cost of attendance. We're going to be diving into exactly what the certified cost of attendance means, but yes, essentially you can use student loans to actually pay for certain living expenses when you're living away or attending school and doing your studies, right? So this can also include off-campus housing or groceries, because these are part of your school's certified cost of attendance. Now, in terms of the overall process and how this works, after your loan is dispersed from your school, any remaining funds will be refunded to you for additional expenses, and you can contact your school's financial aid office for more details around their refund process. Now, exactly how this works, we're going to be diving into a little bit more in detail, as well as other types of living expenses, but yes, you can actually use them for off-campus housing or groceries as well. And in terms of the maximum amount that you can borrow for a student or parent loan, is you can borrow up to 100% of your school's certified cost of attendance. This is how it works for College Ave. It's also the same as how it works for many different lenders and a lot of the lenders that we have on our list as well. You can borrow up to the school's certified cost of attendance. This would include tuition, fees, room and board, books, supplies, and other educational expenses, as well as certain cost of living expenses, right? Now, the loan approval is subject to credit and eligibility requirements, of course, and in terms of how long it actually takes to then get the loan funds or the disbursement and the refund process, essentially College Ave or the lender that you go with, they will send the money directly to your school, and then you will get the money as a disbursement and as a refund after all those other expenses are paid for, such as tuition, other kinds of fees and things like that that you have with your school, and then you'll get that money in a lump sum check that you can use to pay for your cost of living and your living expenses, essentially. We'll go into that in a little bit more detail as well, but essentially, in terms of the total timeline, now, once you've completed the application process with your lender, whether that be College Ave, whether that be federal student loans as well, again, the process, your school will need to certify your loan, and then the certification timelines vary by school and can take anywhere from a few days to a few weeks. And then after that certification, they will then send the funds to your school within 2 business days, and you can track that via email. For College Ave, you can use their mobile app, but it should be pretty similar for a lot of different types of lenders. Now, in terms of deciding, how much you should actually borrow, this is from our other partner lender, Sallie Mae. Now, in terms of estimating the overall cost of attendance and what that actually looks like, again, you need to consider, how much you actually should borrow when you're taking out those loans for living expenses. Again, loans can be an expensive way to pay for school, of course. Make sure before you actually take out any loans, consider any kind of federal student aid that you might have, any kind of scholarships, savings, and then if you do need additional funding, then a private student loan, such as the lenders we mentioned in the video description, can help with that process. Now, in terms of, you need to create first a budget and estimate the expenses. Now, in terms of that cost of attendance, right, the COA, that should be able to be easily found on either your financial aid award letter or the school's website. So your school's website, just go to your school's website or contact the person that you have at your school to get that cost of attendance, and then that will give you the numbers as far as how much that you can actually take out for living expenses. Because, in terms of your total cost of attendance, that's going to already include tuition, fees, and then also you have housing and meals, right? This isn't just on campus, this also includes potentially off-campus housing as well you can use the loans for. So you have housing and meals, books and supplies, travel, miscellaneous expenses such as a laptop as well. We'll get into more details as far as all the other types of things that you can use the loans to pay for when it comes to cost of living. But you do need to first consider like how much you actually need to borrow. And it's important to consider and take out the right amount because you don't want to build up too much debt after school. Again, consider, doing some sort of scholarship, grants, work study programs, federal loans and grants or federal student aid, and as well as potentially some savings. Or if you want to work while you're in school, that's another option as well. Like they say, work study programs, things like that, right? Only borrow what you can actually pay back. Now, in terms of what these student loans can be used for, right? We talked about food and, your cost of living. Now, in terms of the specifics here, right? So you know that you can use it for tuition, books, and fees. So you can use this for on-campus room and board. So this would include your dorm expenses and any meal plan that you purchase. So a lot of students do tend to go with meal plans because it might be a little bit easier, especially in your first year. But after that, then, the school will automatically deduct these from your loan if you've signed up for them. So yes, you can use them for meal plans as well. But you're not just limited to what the school wants to sell you. You can also go with off-campus housing, which can be a little bit cheaper as well versus on campus. On campus might be a little bit more expensive, although some schools do, keep in mind, some schools do have rules where you have to live on campus in the first year. So just keep in mind, work with your school in terms of what their rules are as well. But you have off-campus housing where, if you live off campus, eligible expenses can include rent, utilities, and groceries, right? These are essential expenses. We'll get into what you can't use them for in just a moment here. This can also include other cost of living expenses such as transportation, right? This could include gas, such as like getting to school, parking fees, bus passes, right? Anything that you need for your actual studies, getting to the school, right? These are all reasonable expenses, right? Reasonable expenses, okay? That's sort of what it all comes back to, and it needs to be directly related to school. As well as if you're doing study abroad, you could use that money to pay for the cost for study abroad. Just depends on what kind of program you're in, as well as technology and equipment, right? If you need a laptop, I touched on that as well. Other kind of software, equipment for your classes, you can also use the money from your loan. Personal costs, right? This can include sheets, towels, toiletries, or even a microwave and a refrigerator. Again, these are essential expenses for your living and needing them so that you can actually live and study, right? This could also include other things like testing, licenses, certifications, specific disability needs, right? If you need specialty services, equipment, certain disability supplies, as well as childcare. So maybe if you're in a graduate program, if you are maybe a single or working parent, then you may be able to use your loan to pay for childcare expenses while you're in classes. You do need to check with your financial aid officer, of course, in that case, if you actually qualify for that aspect of it. But childcare can be another big expense that you could use as well. So do keep that in mind. Now, in terms of what you shouldn't use, your student loan money for, right? Don't use things like eating out, right? Don't use your money on things like this. It would be vacations, right? Don't use it for spring break. I know a lot of people they did a survey where I think 1 in 5 college students actually use it for spring break money. Don't do that. That's actually could be not a good thing, and you might actually get in trouble for that. So I would not recommend doing that at all. And so don't use it for eating out like pizza, beer, things like that. Again, these are things that you wouldn't want to use student loan money for, right? Don't use it to pay off credit cards, car notes, debt. You can't use it for down payment on a house or a condo. Again, you need to use it just for those school certified expenses or school related costs, right? Directly related to school. You can't use it for non-school services, right? You can't use it for luxury services such as hiring cleaners, paying gym fees, or other non-education services. If you need extra money for things like that, I mean, most schools include a gym, but if you have any other kind of like non-educational things, try and work an additional job or a side job or something like that while you're in college. Same thing goes for entertainment, right? Or eating out. Entertainment, same with vacations, honestly. Entertainment, don't use your loan for streaming services, sports events, concerts, theater. A lot of schools actually put these on for free. So check with your school for certain sporting events and events and things to keep you entertained, right? Clothing and shopping. Again, this also goes for new clothes or tech like a gaming console, right? If you're buying a Switch 2 or something like that, then that's not going to qualify as a school expense. So that is what you need to not use the money for and what you can use the money for in terms of your living expenses, all broken down here, again, from Sallie Mae's website here. Now, in terms of what happens to the extra loan money as we break it down, this will be sent directly to your school. They'll take out all the things off the top. So it would be tuition. Again, if you're living off campus, then room and board would be refunded to you. Big thing here with room and board, though, if you are living on campus, that will be paid directly. And then any additional money, again, meal plans would also be taken out of that. And then again, there might be some money left over. Now, if you are living off campus and if you do get a good amount of money left over, the remainder of your loan will be as a check or debit card. And again, as they say here, you may be tempted to spend it all in one place, but don't forget that it's student loan money, not necessarily extra cash. You need to be very, very careful, right? If you listen to anything in this video, once you get the extra money left over, be very diligent in how you budget it, because it will be a big check, especially if you're living off campus. You need to make sure you keep that money in a savings account, keep it in your checking account, whatever account you have. Don't spend it all, because you need to disperse that over 3, 4, 5 months, however long your semester is, to pay for your rent, to pay for your utilities, other kind of bills, food, groceries, things like that, right? Make sure you spread that money out, because you're not going to get more until the next semester. So make sure you budget it out appropriately when you're actually getting that extra money for your living expenses, because the other things will be paid up front, but those things like rent, especially living off campus, that's usually on a monthly basis. Same with a lot of other things. So be diligent with budgeting. If you're not as diligent with budgeting, maybe you're better off doing the on-campus side of things where everything's kind of paid for up front and you don't really have to think about it. That's an option for you to decide, depending on how responsible you are, and if you're an undergraduate versus graduate, things like that to consider. In terms of the borrowed money, you'll have to pay it back with interest when your loan is due. So make sure you consider all of your type of school expenses. When it comes to living expenses, again, try for any kind of federal grant programs, things like that. If you need private student loans, then again, you can go ahead and check out those links linked down below in the video description. Again, that first link will take you right over to this page here, where you can apply for companies like College Ave, SoFi, Sallie Mae. The nice thing about College Ave is they do have an easy online application where you can check and see what you pre-qualify for a student loan, and checking rates won't affect your credit score. They are pretty much one of the only lenders where you can actually check your rates and what you qualify for as a soft pull without affecting your credit score. Again, this is their easy online application here, available at the links down below in the video description. Guys, I hope you found this video helpful on, again, can you take out student loans for living expenses? Again, yes, and these are pretty much the expenses you can use them for, what you can use them for, what you can't use them for, and how the money process all works. So guys, I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, comments, be sure to leave that down in the comment section below. Again, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful, be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Anyway, guys, that's all for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.